What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here in Warframe, and it's time to take a look at the Opticore. So we're going to go run a Grenier Exterminate mission. Rank 28, don't really have any more space for slots, and I shouldn't say space, I should say the 4 points that I have left right now is not going to allow me to put anything on it unless I hit Forma. I do have 2 open slots in my current build with this weapon, but there's a lot to talk about with this one. So it's a Corpus laser cannon. It's in the dojo. Okay, the pre-requirements for this build in the dojo is you have to have built the Lenka already within the dojo, which I'm pretty sure most of us have. And it feels kind of like that because this is a charge weapon, charge laser cannon, if you will. Right now, what I'm looking at, I don't know, my feelings are a little bit really odd on this. Now, I was really never fond of the Lenka, and I'm not 100% fond of this. There is some work to be done to get a decent build out of this that'll satisfy me, so it may be a while before you actually see a build video on it because I'm not ready to put more Forma into this weapon yet personally. Some really nice things we'll go over here. It does have some really nice base damages, so slash is okay, 25, puncture is insane at 425, impact's not bad at 50, status is good, 15%. Reload is pretty slow. Magazine, it doesn't really matter. This thing doesn't really consume ammo. Fire rate is hard at 0.3. Critical multiplier is actually not too bad at 2 times because you can bring that up to, I think, 5.6. And critical chance can get up there pretty well as well because it's got a nice 15% on it. Accuracy is 100% as long as you can hit the target. If you're that type of player that you can move with the target that's moving, kind of like a sniper type of player, then you shouldn't have too much of an issue with this. Overall, as you can see, it's pretty cool looking, but like I said, I'm not 100% now. The way I've got this set up, it does do a lot of damage right now, but I'm utilizing a max speed trigger and a max shred mod on this. And that should give me like a 0.5 fire rate, give or take, because that's 90% increase. But inside the arsenal, it doesn't update your fire rate, so there's a bug there. So your fire rate doesn't change even when you add fire rate mods on it. But it does affect it here in game, so we know that it's working. It's just not showing properly. Currently, I have over a 50% status chance on this. Insane puncture, and as you can see, insane blast damage on this weapon right now. I do have 2 extra slots, like I said, and what's really nice is you can put Firestorm on this weapon, so you get a bigger blast radius. So that is some kind of an advantage, but you got to build it properly to get that proper blast radius. So something like Blast or something like Gas will work really well with this type of weapon, because those are similar to like the Torrid or the Ogress or the Ignis that have a blast radius of their type of element. The problem I have though is this charge time, even with the max fire rate mods on here, is just insanely slow, and it's worse than even some sniper rifles. And as you can see, you have to keep yourself in check, and you have to be prepared with a frame that can manage to cover the difference when it takes forever to actually use this weapon. And I'm not saying it's a bad weapon, because by all means it is not a bad weapon. It's just going to take a little bit of work to get it up there. Now, in terms of the blast radius or the core radius, the farther out the enemy is, I've noticed, the less outburst radius of damage that it will do. If the enemies are close to each other and they're fairly close to you and you shoot them, you'll actually give them damage. All the ones around it, and you'll likely kill that little cone of enemies at one time. I absolutely hate this new system, this new cipher thing. It bothers me, the spinning and the trying to push the spacebar. I absolutely hate it. We'll never not run with ciphers again. Does no damage through the Arctic Eximus, so you have to drop your AoE on your frame, or you have to get really close to him. The charge up time will trigger once it's max charged, so there is no holding it back like you can do with the Ogress or the Torrid. So once you've max charged this, it'll fire. So just keep that one in mind as well. We'll talk about that Halicar soon. So this is not my favorite of weapons. Like I said, it's not a bad weapon at all. You can get major damage out of this. I would still probably take the Ogress, the Penta, Torrid over this weapon right now. Of course, like I said, you got to put some forma into it. Where is this? Where is this? Damn it! Now it's above me. A minute ago it was below me. Now it's above me. Okay. And now I'm stuck. There we go. Now it's above me and I just went down. What a idiot I am. We'll just reset ourselves. There we go. Where is it? There she is. So you gotta run it and you gotta keep up with them when moving in order to get it. So you've gotta have some skill or accuracy with this. So this is gonna be one of those weapons when I'm on my off day, I am not even gonna touch this thing. Right now I'm not even on my on day, and at some points I'm doing okay, and some points I'm doing pretty bad. To me though, it's kind of weird because it's like it doesn't really ultimately know what type of weapon it wants to be, whether it wants to be a laser cannon, you know, where typically you would at least fire a little bit better than it does in terms of fire rate, whether it wants to be like a long sniper rifle to some extent, rocket launcher. No, I don't think so. It's just not that. So it's going to take a different type of person to use this one. I won't put it down per se because, you know, I've only essentially had this for a day, so I need to put more time into it to really get a good feel for it, as I do with most of mine. So there will be follow-ups on this, of course. If you guys are into this type of weapon, if you've run the Lanka before, you're into this type of weapon, you have any suggestions for me, please do feel free to leave some comments below on suggestions on modding this type of weapon. It would, of course, help me out. I'll try them and relay them out to everybody else as well, and ultimately come out with something that will be pretty good on here. I think right now I have split chamber serration. I've got thermite rounds and rhyme rounds, and then I got the shred and speed trigger right now. I had looked into the critical. You can get really high with the critical, so I was thinking of putting critical onto here as well. But there's also some other stuff that I thought of putting on here, so we'll see. Like I said, if you have any ideas or suggestions, please do feel free to leave them for me, and I will definitely take a look at them. Whoops. Crap. Stuck. Alright, let me see. We can get out of here. We can get out. We can get out. We can ninja our way out of there. There we go. I will be talking about the Halicar here shortly. I've just finished up that thoughts and progression on that one. I'm pretty much finished with it in terms of leveling it. I just need to start thinking about builds. There's a few different ways to put it together, so that the build videos will be farther out, but we'll definitely have a thoughts progression video on that coming up shortly. So if you have any comments, questions, please leave them below. If you like this, hit that like button. Until next time, I'll see you later.